Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel. We have some more major news to talk about in the world of crypto today, especially for XRP. And we're also going to be taking a look at the price movement for both Bitcoin and XRP. So let's go ahead and get started. Just looking at the general crypto market, we're mostly seeing green, so that's definitely a good start. When we take a look at Bitcoin, we are green on the day. Yesterday, closing out green, which is really nice because this push up from yesterday essentially allowed us to break through and establish a little bit of a safety net because we had been starting to consolidate here for a while. We can zoom out even more. Yes, there was an attempt run up that came when we had that low back here on June 10th. Started to rise up. We saw that high of about $67,300 on June 15th before it dropped down, started to come back up, went even further down. Then we saw a low of around $57,800 back on July 1st. So over the last 2 weeks, we've been more or less seeing a nice climb up. There was a little bit of sideways action that happened here for about a week or so, and then a nice green candle, like I mentioned, for yesterday, and then the climb up here on the day also up over half a percentage. So 0.63% while I'm recording the video. We are above the VWAP, which is a really good sign. The Bollinger Band itself starting to widen just a tad bit. We're still above the median line of the Bollinger Band. We are above the Fibonacci retracement zone at $63,250. So these are all good signs. The volume itself for the day looking pretty good as well. I think there's a decent chance we'll see it pass the volume of the last 2 days. Things were pretty quiet as usual on Saturday and Sunday, but here we are making some more significant moves. And there's some pretty bullish news for XRP today, which I do want to talk about more. And just looking overall for Bitcoin, right now showing some good signs. I would be a little bit cautious though because the candle was so big yesterday. We might get a little bit of a fake out or closure. Ideally, we want 3 candle closures above a key level to identify a strong trend. Currently, we have 1. The previous day was below that Fibonacci zone. So if we close out green today, even if we stay above $63,200 and let's say it's red tomorrow, that's okay. It's still 3 instances that would suggest that we have a higher probability of a further continuation up. Then I would be targeting things like 70,000, 75, and then up here at the next Fibonacci zone, $78,200. All right, so a couple big announcements. First, let's start with what Ripple posted on their official Twitter account. Ripple is proud to join the X402 Foundation as a premier member. As AI agents begin to take on more of the transaction lifecycle, they'll need a way to pay that's as fast and reliable as the way they already exchange data. We've been helping build the future on the XRP ledger with the tools and infrastructure developers need to enable agentic payments, including support for X402 that enables agents to transact using XRP and RLUSD today. We're looking forward to contributing to the Foundation's technical and governance work as we help advance open standards for the next generation of internet-native payments. In addition to that, they had a separate post, proud to announce 25 recipients of the Ripple Effect Certified Veteran Employer Grants, $250,000 invested in veteran and military spouse-owned businesses through our partnership with Hire Heroes USA. Each recipient receives $10,000 plus employer training and access to over 20,000 military-connected job seekers. And then they provide the link to that. Now, check this out. Huge news. DTCC drops their tokenization video today, and it's flooded with XRP community voices. Not random. They're hinting loud and clear. Ripple's tech and XRP have been quietly inside the system for years. Now the DTCC is hinting at making it official. From experiment to production, the bridge was already built. Now, to elaborate on this even more, we have Kenny who posted, the haters said DTCC will not use XRP. Well, here we go. Happy launch day. And if we take a closer look at this image, you can clearly see that on the DTCC, they put the search for XRP, and lo and behold, we got quite a few that have popped up. For services, it's showing 19 plus, 83 for clearing services, and right here in the the generated answer, you have XRP haircut and classification, haircuts for XRP, gives you $5 per share. XRP is charged a haircut equal to the greater of a haircut applied to illiquid securities. And then it also says 100%. Price above $5 per share. You have over the counter or IPO charged a 35% haircut. National Securities Exchange, microcap stocks with high illiquidity ratio charged a 35% haircut, and not microcap stocks or with low illiquidity ratio subject to the VAR charge. So there you go. Being directly associated right there with DTCC. Now, in additional news, and we do have a bit more of news to talk about today, US PPI came in at 5.5%. The expectations, 6.2%. So it's being suggested here that core inflation is actually starting to cool down. And big news from Japan. Japan's very own Clarity Act is here. Japan's upper house committee has approved legislation to reclassify Bitcoin, XRP, and other cryptocurrencies as financial instruments. This landmark bill to legalize XRP ETFs that have been lined by SBI Japan filings. The proposal would also slash crypto taxes to a flat 20% down from the current maximum rate of 55%. Japan is moving digital asset infrastructure forward with unprecedented speed. And Trendsic.com becomes the first trading platform built exclusively for real-world assets on the XRP ledger. Evernorth Holding filings form S4A, Amendment Number 4 with the SEC, advancing its business combination with Armada Acquisition Corp. 2. So the target listing NASDAQ is XRPN, the positioning largest publicly listed XRP treasury company, executive compensation disclosed. CEO Ashish Birla, $44 million initial equity award and a base salary. The CFO Matt Frymere, $5.6 million equity award and base salary and annual bonus. Additional executives, $750,000 RSUs pending approval. Committed capital over $1 billion, and backers include Ripple, SBI Holdings, Arlington Capital, Pantera Capital, and Kraken. And that was actually filed here just a few days ago, July 13th. American Bankers Association officially sends letter urging Senate to change the Clarity Act before a final vote. The American Bankers Association and 77 state banking associations have officially sent a letter to Senate leaders John Thune and Senator Schumer requesting last-minute changes to the Clarity Act before it advances. According to the letter, the banking groups are asking to tighten the bill's stablecoin yield provisions, clarify language around payment stablecoins, prevent stablecoins from functioning like interest-bearing bank deposits. With the Clarity Act final text expected to be released within days, and lawmakers racing to pass the bill before the August recess, the negotiations are entering their final and most critical phase. XRP FOMO hits a 5-week high. XRP and Ethereum, the sentiment has climbed to 5-week highs, with XRP showing the strongest signs of trader FOMO. Sentiment says XRP is positioning 3.02 bullish comments for every bearish comment, while Ethereum stands at 2.31. Bitcoin remains comparatively neutral at 1.4, even as Bitcoin and Ethereum erased earlier gains during Monday's session, according to Sentiment. And if you haven't heard of the crypto exchange BTCC, it has been around for 13 years. You get access to over 300 crypto futures, up to 250x leverage, and there's no VPN or KYC required to get started. And in addition to that, there are bonuses. So if you use my referral link in the description down below, you can get a 10% deposit bonus when you deposit over $500 of USDT. Bonuses go all the way up to $10,055. If you want to look into this more, or if you're ready to get started, you can find that link down in the description below. And Binance's XRP reserves have stabilized at their lowest level since February, potentially easing selling pressure if demand continues to improve. There are real yield opportunities on XRPL. The ledger is still in its growth phase. They used Elan Insight's income dashboard to identify some XRP ledger yield opportunities already live in the market. So Ondo Finance is offering nearly 4% APY on its OUSG. And Midas RWA is offering 2.21% on its MXRP, the first liquid staking and yield-bearing version of XRP. And looking at the price movement for XRP, let's see how this is doing real quick. So we do have a pretty comparable situation to that of Bitcoin. We do have green right here for yesterday. We're also green on the day. A little bit higher though percentage-wise. We're at 1.2% for XRP. Volume is very close to passing that of yesterday. A lot of people seem very optimistic on the day with what's going on with the DTCC. The low of the day was just about $1.10. Looks like it was slightly underneath that. And as it is right now, we're pushing a little bit closer to $1.13. We're above the VWAP. That's looking good. Above the Bollinger Band median line. Looking like we might push towards $1.16. That is going to be the upper Bollinger Band. And if it can manage to climb above that, I'd be looking at $1.18, $1.29 as major zones. And then up here at $1.40 for the Fibonacci zone. And then if it does drop down, looks like we might have just a tiny bit of support. It's all kind of hovering right around the same zone. I'd be looking at a major drop. If it did go down, you're looking here at just above $1. Right? $1 is definitely a psychological level. Okay, so that's what I got for you guys. Don't forget to hit subscribe if you're new. Thank you to my Patreon supporters, my YouTube members. God bless you guys. We'll see you in the next video. Peace.